Green corridor in shipping, an overview. A green corridor in shipping refers to a designated maritime route or network that is optimized for environmentally sustainable practices. These corridors aim to reduce the environmental impact of shipping by promoting the use of cleaner fuels, energy-efficient technologies, and eco-friendly operational practices. The decision to establish and adopt green shipping corridors is driven by a combination of environmental, regulatory, economic, and strategic factors. Below are the key reasons why stakeholders in the shipping industry are increasingly opting for green corridors. 1. Environmental responsibility and climate goals. Reducing greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions. Shipping accounts for nearly 3% of global GHG emissions. Green corridors aim to significantly reduce emissions by promoting the use of cleaner fuels, example, hydrogen, ammonia, methanol, and energy-efficient technologies. Combating climate change. IMO aims to achieve net zero greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions from international shipping by 2050, with indicative checkpoints of at least 20%, striving for 30%, reduction by 2030 and at least 70%, striving for 80%, reduction by 2040, compared to 2008 levels. Protecting marine ecosystems, reducing air and water pollution, example, sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, and oil spills, helps protect marine life and coastal communities. 2. Regulatory pressure and compliance. Stricter environmental regulations. The International Maritime Organization, IMO, and regional bodies are imposing stricter emission standards, such as the IMO 2020 sulfur cap and the Carbon Intensity Indicator, CII, regulations. Avoiding penalties. Non-compliance with environmental regulations can result in fines, restrictions, or bans from certain ports. Future-proofing. Green corridors help shipping companies prepare for future regulations, such as potential carbon taxes or mandatory use of zero-emission fuels. 3. Economic benefits. Cost savings in the long term. While the initial investment in green technologies and fuels is high, operational costs can decrease over time due to improved fuel efficiency and lower fuel consumption. Access to incentives. Governments and international organizations often provide subsidies, tax breaks, or grants for companies adopting sustainable practices. Fuel price stability. Transitioning to alternative fuels like hydrogen or ammonia can reduce dependence on volatile fossil fuel markets. 4. Competitive advantage. Enhanced reputation. Companies operating in green corridors can position themselves as leaders in sustainability, appealing to environmentally conscious customers and investors. Market differentiation. Early adopters of green technologies can gain a competitive edge in an industry increasingly focused on sustainability. Attracting partnerships. Green corridors often involve collaborations between governments, ports, and private companies, creating opportunities for strategic partnerships. 5. Technological innovation and leadership. Pilot testing. Green corridors serve as testing grounds for new technologies, such as zero-emission vessels, wind-assisted propulsion, and digital tools for route optimization. Driving industry innovation. By investing in green corridors, stakeholders can accelerate the development and adoption of sustainable shipping technologies. Setting industry standards. Early movers can influence the development of global standards for green shipping. 6. Global collaboration. Energy security. Reducing reliance on fossil fuels and transitioning to alternative energy sources can enhance energy security for countries and companies. Global leadership. Countries and companies involved in green corridors can position themselves as leaders in the global push for sustainable shipping. Collaboration opportunities. Green corridors foster collaboration between governments, ports, shipping companies, and fuel providers, creating a unified approach to decarbonization. 7. Examples of strategic or green corridors. Shanghai-Los Angeles Green Shipping Corridor aims to reduce emissions on one of the busiest shipping routes, aligning with global climate goals. Singapore-Rotterdam Green and Digital Shipping Corridor focuses on decarbonization and digitalization to enhance efficiency and sustainability. Baltic Sea Green Corridor promotes sustainable shipping practices in a region with high environmental sensitivity. 9. Disadvantages of green corridors. High initial costs. The transition to cleaner fuels and technologies can be expensive. Infrastructure requirements requires significant investment in infrastructure such as bunkering facilities for alternative fuels. Operational challenges. Implementing new technologies and practices may pose operational challenges and require crew training. Limited scope. Initially, green corridors may be limited to specific routes, reducing their overall impact. Conclusion. The shift toward green shipping corridors is driven by a combination of environmental urgency, regulatory requirements, economic incentives, and strategic advantages. By adopting green corridors, the shipping industry can reduce its environmental impact, comply with regulations, and position itself for long-term success in a rapidly evolving global market. This transition is not just a necessity, but also an opportunity to lead in the sustainable transformation of global trade. Thank you for watching the video. For more marine topics, please subscribe the channel. Please help us with your valuable feedback to improve the contents.